Welcome to another lesson of Microsoft Excel. So in this lesson we're going to learn about Excel VBA or macros. So how does macros and VBA work? Well, the interface of macros is going to be like this and VBA will be like this. Well, this is the interface of Excel VBA. So VBA, or Visual Basics for Application, is a computer programming language developed and owned by Microsoft. With VBA, you can create macros to automate repetitive words and data processing functions and generate custom forms, graphs, and reports. VBA functions within MS Office application. It is not a standalone product. So what type of product it is, it's just going to run in the background without Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, and Microsoft Word running. It's not going to work. Okay, so you have to keep in mind that it's going to run on the background when only the softwares or programming languages or the programs of Microsoft is only running. So what I'm going to show you today is how macros work in Microsoft Excel. So what can you do with macros? Okay, so what macro usually does, or record macro usually does, is that records every process you're doing, even the data, or sometimes even functions, and a lot of complex works. Okay, let's say I have a small data here. I'm gonna go show you charts too, and also some other ones, let's say removing duplicates, but I will do that too. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right here is, let's say I'm gonna use VLOOKUP here, but I don't want to use the same process over and over again. So what I'm gonna do here is, let's say I'm gonna copy, or let's start with the basic first. Now when you want to record a macro, firstly what you have to do is turn on your developer mode. So if you don't have this developer mode, in default you're not gonna have this developer mode on. To turn on this developer tab or mode on, what you have to do is go to files first, go to options, which is gonna be at the bottom, and then go to customize ribbons, and then you will see like this developer mode over here will be unclicked. Just click on it and then just press OK, and you will see developer mode is now on your tab or your ribbon. Now what I'm going to do here is record a macro. So to record a macro, just click on record macro and this interface will open up just as I told you a bit earlier. Okay, now what I'm gonna do here is you can name a macro. So today what I'm gonna do right here, or right now what I'm gonna do is, let's say fonts. Okay, and you have to keep in mind that spaces does not work in like naming a macro. You have to use an underscore or maybe something else. Okay, let's use an underscore font underscore size. You can also assign a shortcut key according to your need. Keep another thing in mind, that when you are working or assigning a shortcut key, you have to keep in mind that it does not unbind another Excel shortcut key. If it does, let's say Control C is for copy, but if you assign a shortcut key, let's say Control C here, you won't be able to copy using Control C, but it will use the macro over and over again until you delete the macro. So keep in mind that assign a key which does not have a default shortcut or function. Okay, so I'm going to press or use Control J as I don't have anything or assign to Control J. Now I'm going to press OK. Now you can see it's already recording. Now as it is recording, what I'm going to do right here is copy this, or like select all of this. What I'm going to do is go to home. After going to home, I'm going to change the font, which I like told you first. Now I'm going to do is, let's say Forte. Now I'm going to do is make the font a bit bigger. 72 is a bit too big, so I'm going to make it 26. Now as it is 26, what I'm going to do here is make them align to the left. Now what I'm going to do right here is, let's say I'm going to select this one and I'm going to make it a bit smaller. Let's say this one for now. I'm gonna make the heading underlined and italic. That is gonna be it. Now I'm gonna do another thing, is gonna be making the background a bit. Okay, let's say I don't want this, but I'm gonna do is fill the color a bit like this. Okay, and then make a border. Now I'm gonna like stop the recording. Developer mode, stop recording. Now as I stopped recording, now as I can go to another chart, what I'm gonna do right here is copy this text, Control C, make another sheet. I'm gonna paste it over here. Wait, I'm gonna paste it like this. Only paste it like this. Okay, so here you can see that this has no formatting, but if I want to apply the same formatting, I have to like individually do everything, but I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do here is click on the cell, just press Ctrl J or go to macros, and then select the macro which you recorded and run. Now I'm going to do is just press Ctrl J, and you can see all of the formatting has been done without even taking a lot of time. So what it does is copies or imitates all of the function or all of the process you do and applies the same thing later on where you want to apply it. So we're going to show you another one by using a function. Okay, so I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to make some summations over here. Now what I'm going to do is use relative reference. So what record macro does, when you, without like selecting using relative reference, when you just press record macro, what it does is takes the exact same like cell. Okay, so let me show you again by giving you an example. I'm going to record a macro, let's say macro 2. I'm not going to assign any key. So I'm going to do is, let's say 456. And I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to keep it like this. I'm going to stop the recording of macro. I'm going to go to another sheet. I'm going to macro 2, run. And you can see it's just assigned on the same cell as it was on 2. So if you want to like use the macro wherever you want to, or wherever you click and then run the macro, then use relative reference. So I'm going to show it to you right now. And another thing you have to keep in mind that when you're using a macro, you cannot undo any process. Okay, so use them like very carefully and cautiously. What I'm going to do is use relative reference. What I'm going to do right here is now record a macro. Let's say macro 3. I don't want any like shortcut keys, so I'm going to press OK. Now I'm going to do is just press here equal sum and now the number. So I'm going to select all of them. Close the parentheses, hit enter. I'm going to do the same thing over here, but I'm going to multiply them over here. So I'm going to select all of them, multiply this, let's say the 2. So that is going to be the answer. Okay, now what I'm going to do right here is, let's say I'm going to stop recording the macro. Now as it is done, I'm going to go to another sheet. After going to another sheet, what I'm going to do is just type in some of the datas. Now I'm going to do is select on this, and then what I'm going to do is run it. Both of them are 0. Why is it 0? Because this is selecting this cell. So I'm going to select this one, Control C. From here 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Control X. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Control X. This is a reference error because, as you can see, let me fix on it a bit. Macros, macro 3, run. now equal. I'm gonna run it again by using this macro. Go into macros, selecting on it, and then run. So you can see now it has been done when I applied the macro. So this is going to use the same function as this. Just by clicking on it, you can see the sum, and you can see by here it's been multiplied with the first two ones, just as I did on here, which is going to be the first two ones over here and all of these. Okay, so this is how you can use macros and VBA. So let me show you another thing, that how does VBA work in that. Just as you saw, what I'm gonna do is go to sheet 6 and go to Visual Basics here, and then you can see in the modules how VBA works. So it is gonna do all the work here, or copy all of it in, like, you know, the programming languages, how the things are working or how the functions are working, like this, Control J. And then what I did was like change the font, change the size, and then if there was strike through, there was no strike through, we can also cut it. But I'm not gonna cut it here because I'm not gonna make it any complex. So you can see it's gonna end with 26, and then what I did was like do a lot more an italic and all of those. Okay, so all of the macros, like recording macros, is gonna like convert or record all of it in like VBA and programming language. Okay, and you can apply it also from here by using the run. Okay, just as you can see. So this is how VBA and macro is going to help you in Microsoft Excel. Well, it can be used in a lot of processes because there might be a lot of complex processes that can also be copied or imitated by using macro and VBA. So hope you guys understood everything, and thank you for watching this video.